Did you guys happen to see there was an article about a kid who managed to find a bug in the password system for the Xbox One?
Oh yeah, I heard some about that.
It was
like 5 years old, right?
It was so this 5-year-old kid decided to play his dad's Xbox, but his dad put a password on it. So when you first start the console, you can't play it without the password. And so he found out that if you just go over to the spacebar button and you just keep pressing it rapidly and then log in with it, it will work.
Dun, dun, dun.
The kind of bug only a 5-year-old would find.
That sounds like a trick to catching Pokemon.
And the worst part is that it works replicated. So it works every time. It's not just like a one-time thing with this one Xbox One. It's like every Xbox One had this glitch in it. And so it's like they actually put, like Microsoft actually gave him credit for finding the bug. So his name is on the list of like contributors to like finding bugs.
That's amazing.
But it's like
up on the D-pad and shake your Game Boy upside down and you'll catch Mew.
It's just it blows my mind because you think about like you have to think about the idea that some kid like had to say this to his father or something, and you know, like, Dad, I got to play the Xbox because I found this bug, and the dad goes and says it to somebody, and you know, it gets on the news or whatever. Somebody at Microsoft heard this and was like, okay, who the fuck had the job of checking this? Because if a 5-fucking-year-old is able to goddamn bypass a password system, why the fuck do we even need passwords? Like,
are you telling me that the next gen consoles might have been rushed?
I'm saying that maybe somebody in Microsoft just forgot how passwords worked.
How could there possibly be gaps in the Xbox One, the console that launched with no party chat, the standard feature of the Xbox 360 since forever?
Wow.
We're also talking about the company that was able to, you know, make Hotmail, which of course had the best password security system of all time.
I had Hotmail for all of 10 minutes, and then signed up for Gmail again.
My password is password.
I had a Gmail, and then I went to Hotmail just to try it out, and then I made another Gmail just to make myself clean.
Well, I needed an email for somebody to send me a referral code, because this is like way back in the dark ages when Gmail wasn't like a publicly available thing.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
There was no email before Gmail.
Sorry, I'm still watching this Dark Souls gif.
Just like there was no maps before Google Maps.
I mean,
what are you gonna say, MapQuest? I dare you to say fucking MapQuest, because that shit was bull. That was the worst fucking map system ever.
It was. Well, it's like
Turn left off Interstate 80. It's like, okay.
I've been watching old TV lately. Not even old TV, just TV
like
I
Alf?
missed from a few years ago, like Weeds and shit. And it's amazing how dated TV is that came out like within the last decade, because everyone has like these shitty little flip phones that only have the numbers on them, and like people unironically say stuff in season 5 of the show like, can you MapQuest that for me?
God
like,
damn
oh my god, is this from when I was not live? Is this my parents' TV?
This is my parents' TV? Is it just stuck on the old people channels?
That's apparently like a real issue though, is that like people have been in jail for like 5 years or something and get out are just really confused by how the world works now, because they come out of jail and suddenly everyone is constantly walking around with rectangular devices that they can't stop staring at.
That's what it feels like to be old.
I've always kind of had like this feeling like it'd be really fun if we all played a prank on Manson and just like released him for like a day, but just everybody look completely like they're aliens. Like, I don't think he'd be prepared for it. He's been like in what, like isolation for 20 years, 25 years, I think it is. So just imagine like him walking out into the world and like everyone's walking around with like these weird technology devices and shit. It's like, welcome to the future, Manson. And he's like, oh, fucking Jesus.
Here, put this chip under your skin.
Yeah, it's like, oh, welcome. You can finally embrace the culture that society is in now. And it's like, I want to go back to jail. Like,
the implants? No, everyone does this. Everyone just does that now.
They just stick them on the set of Idiocracy and populate it as best as possible.
God damn it.
Here, why are these crops with Gatorade?
Did you see? Okay, this is like super not on topic of games, but on the topic of Manson,
like we were.
You know, like, do you know
Yeah,
do you know like, I mean, of course everyone knows what Manson did, and the reason why he's like in where he is. And so I read an article about somebody, like, they let a visitor go see him, and
I'm sure this ended well.
Like what? They're and like it's a girl.
And they had tea.
Because it's
nice.
a girl, which is like, of course, the best idea because nothing ever came bad from Manson and women involved in each other at all. And so they let this woman who's way younger, like she is like 20 years younger than Manson. Like she was probably not even alive when Manson went around like, like converting people to become murderers. And they let her go and visit him, and she's coming like, Manson's such this great guy, and oh, I feel so bad he's in prison, and I wish I could marry him. And it's like, do you even fucking read a book, bitch? Like Manson's a fucking lunatic. Like,
That needs to be the title of this podcast. Read a,
but I'm just
read a
thinking,
book,
like,
bitch.
who at the jail just allowed this? Who is like the warden who's just like, he's been in jail for like 40 years. Who cares? Like, what's the worst he could do? Convert somebody else to
What's the
become one of
worst he
those
could do?
Manson people? It's like, yes.
And that's
the
how
fucking
Saw
problem.
happened.
It's just, goddamn.
To be fair, that's actually like, I'm trying to remember. That's actually like a thing where women will fall in love with convicts, and it's kind of like this weird rescue mentality or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
like
men do it too,
like,
but there are
yeah.
less women in prison, so it's kind of harder with convicts.
Yeah, it's
It-
weird.
Bell
For some
chooses
reason,
the
men just
best
go around
time
stabbing
to
each other.
tune into this conversation.
But I don't know. It just I'm thinking like how do you just
Yeah, it's the bad boy mentality, kind of. Sort
bad
of.
boy mentality?
Yeah,
Lord.
God damn it.
you know the like girl that will be stuck with the
Baddest
abusive
boy.
boyfriend, thinking she can like change him for the better.
Yeah, because he's in jail, so he can change. I mean, it just
I'm
frustrates
gonna
me when I
fuck the
think
evil
about
out of Darth Maul.
it. Just
Wow, that went in a weird direction.